Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite DJ prodigy, Million Dollar Man Mark. It's been a funny development with Gigi over the past couple days in regards to Gigi's recent tirades about goons going to his dad's grave. Since Boston's on hiatus until the end of the month, I figured this would be a good excuse to do a shorter True Narrative podcast. For those of you who aren't familiar, Gigi's butthole-touching janitor father is buried in a place called Forest Lawn Cemetery in Virginia. It's near outside of Richmond. It's been visited by many in the past and is often a place where trolls can go to pay their respects because Gigi won't do anything about it. However, Gigi will constantly parrot to anyone who will listen that Forest Lawn Cemetery is aware of what's going on, and if anyone comes by, they'll be arrested. Typical Gigi bullshit. Recently, Boston has been showing footage from him in Richmond, and some of it was at Forest Lawn. Gigi made a tirade saying Boston was a coward for not showing up to fight, and, well, I'll let Gigi say it in his own words.
So another day, another dollar, more threats being made. I was there at my father's gravesite for an hour, standing there right in front of my father's gravesite. One car slowed down, black dude, white girl, and that was it. And they stood there about 10 minutes and took off. But I was there for over an hour, from 1:30 to just now. The facility is aware of what's going on. If you go there, or any of these of you bitches go there, you will be arrested. Trust me when I say that you will be arrested. Not my words, their words. And I concur.
We wondered if that was the official stance of Forest Lawn Cemetery or not, and since Gigi is full of shit 100% of the time, we decided to look into it. Forest Lawn is owned by a big funeral and burial company located in Florida. That's where their headquarters is, but they have a branch, over in Richmond. So a goon named Blake Thorne decided to email them and ask the following. Good evening. I'm contacting you in regards to multiple videos made by a man named George Alexander Yared on his YouTube channel who has been making statements claiming that people will immediately be arrested for visiting the Forest Lawn Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia. His video came up on my recommendations on YouTube, and I was searching for cemeteries in the area as I am a fan of drone videos over gorgeous properties such as Forest Lawn Cemetery. As someone who travels to the city to visit the resting place of a close family member, I find that very disturbing and troubling that the cemetery would go along with this man in his attempts to deprive others from visiting. Last I checked, a public cemetery. I do not believe this man is a stakeholder, officer, employer, or benefactor for the cemetery, so I am not sure how he is able to make such outlandish claims. I would like to get confirmation regarding this man's statement that members of the public cannot visit your cemetery or face legal consequences. I am not a lawyer, but I'm pretty confident that there are more elements required under such law, as in this case a public place, formally being told by the property owner to leave the premises. To the links below states the criminal elements of trespassing. In closing, I would like to confirm that the relationship between this individual, Mr. Yared, and Forest Lawn Cemetery is, if he is an agent or employee in the position to make these statements and legal threats, if the cemetery is, as he says, will be arrested, not my words, their words, is that a statement accurate, or any other information pertaining to this man and the statements he had made on behalf of the cemetery would be appreciated. I have attached his most recent YouTube video with the statements in question. Thank you, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. A day later, he got this response from a Michelle Stone, who is VP of Corporate Operations for the company. Mr. Thorne, thank you for your note. I have not clicked on any links, and I am unsure who Mr. Yared is. Our Forest Lawn Cemetery is open to the general public during posted hours. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. Warmly, Michelle. And you can see her signature and stuff under here that show it's not bullshit like George's going to think it is. So, starting to spell a little like bullshit? Well, I guarantee, as George would say, that it is. But I didn't think it smelled like bullshit enough. And because I hate George so much, I decided to call Forest Lawn Cemetery's local office, and I spoke with a very nice girl named Kristen. No, not the stripper whore Ariel Connor. And she had this to say when Yared was brought up.
Thank you for calling Forest Lawn Cemetery. This is Christian. How can I help you?
Hi, my name is Mark, and me and my brother were looking to buy a plot of land over at the cemetery you got there. And I found your location doing a Google search for burial places in the area and found Forest Lawn. Is there if I go on your website, am I able to look at prices for plots and everything?
I don't believe so, but what we do encourage is you setting an appointment with a counselor.
Okay.
Because there are so many different options available to you. It's just easier to sit down and hash it out there. Plus, they have a really good understanding of the grounds as well.
Okay.
So they can take you right where you want.
Okay. I did have one concern though. When I was looking on Google, I got recommended a video by a gentleman who was on. It looked like he was on the cemetery property, filming himself and talking about people who are trespassing and going to be arrested. Does that sound anything you've heard or anything?
Not personally.
Okay. I guess he said his name was he was on a random YouTube channel. It said his name was George Yared, so I don't know if that means anything, but I just want to make sure if we don't come and look, we don't get in any trouble or anything. And honestly, the man looked unhinged. He looked like someone who would have a negative bank account.
No, you're not going to get in any trouble. It is definitely a big cemetery, but we're all here during the workday. It's all that.
Okay, cool. Said no. So you've never talked to that George guy or anything before?
No.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. And you heard it from the source itself, Forest Lawn Cemetery, that Kristen and the people there have no idea who George is. And if it didn't smell like bullshit before, it 100% does now. This proves that all the bluster and threats of getting arrested at the cemetery are just that, bluster and empty threats by George. But see, it gets worse than that, because George has been spouting this garbage off for years. He told Saunders about this, he told Phyllis about this, he's been making videos and uploading his own channel about it. All lies. The entire time. Lies. That is how much of a dangerous pathological liar George is. He will lie to people he claims to care about, like Phyllis, but it's blatant bullshit. George cannot stop lying. It's built into his narcissistic psyche to lie at all times. Never believe a single word that comes out of that man's mouth for any reason. But that being said, thanks for listening. Hope this was entertaining and you guys got some good out of it. Glad you're all enjoying the Billy calls. I've got some Lost Saunders calls I'm going to probably upload here in a couple weeks. But then, until then, have a good rest of the day. And George, I'm always going to expose you. Thank you for tuning in to The True Narrative.